Okay, let's jump into this. I mean, we've all felt that, right? That sudden gut punch when some unexpected financial thing just hits you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe your car just gives up the ghost, or you get a medical bill that seems to come out of absolute
Or a
nowhere.
family thinks something urgent you just can't put off.
Exactly. And suddenly your budget, that thing you carefully planned, just feels like it's, I don't know, falling apart.
It's incredibly common and honestly profoundly stressful for people. It's the sheer unpredictability. That's what makes these things so tough to handle for so many folks.
Right, which is exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. We're going to look at a specific real-world example, someone who hit that kind of financial pinch, and, interestingly, found a surprisingly quick, straightforward solution online.
Yeah.
So our mission here really is to pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising facts about getting emergency funds fast. We want to help you feel, well, properly informed about a pretty practical answer to a common problem.
We've really dug into this case. And what's striking, I think, is how fast and efficiently they found a solution outside of the usual channels, outside traditional banks. It kind of signals a shift, maybe, in how we can tackle these immediate needs.
Okay, so let's talk about Emily.
Yeah.
That's the case we're looking at. Her story sounds, well, pretty relatable. Slipped on some ice, needed an x-ray, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Happens. Then, boom, an unexpected medical bill lands. $900.
Ouch.
Yeah. And rent was due. She just didn't have that kind of cash, like sitting around in savings. She said she was in, quote, total panic mode.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But then a friend suggested looking into online loans. She found a site, 15mfinance.org. And what really grabbed her was just how quick and easy it all was.
Okay.
She said she applied and, like, literally within 10 minutes, approved. Money in her account the very next day.
Wow. That quick. That immediate pressure Emily felt, that's something a lot of people can connect with, unfortunately. If you don't have that emergency cushion, a cost like that can just spiral. Late fees, maybe worse. Definitely.
So her going online, it really highlights this growing need for financial tools that are just fast and simple, especially when the old ways, the traditional options, maybe aren't quick enough or even available to you.
So, okay, the speed. How do these online platforms actually manage that? It seems incredibly fast. Emily mentioned a basic application, no hidden fees, worked with her credit score. What makes that possible? That speed and maybe broader access compared to like walking into your bank branch?
Yeah, that's the crucial question, really. The speed, it comes down to a few key things in how they operate. First off, they're totally digital.
Right.
So that means automated application processing. They often use algorithms that can assess eligibility really quickly, and they look at more than just, say, a traditional credit score. They might factor in income stability, your banking history, other bits of data to make a fast decision.
Okay. So using more data points, maybe. Exactly. And second, the way they move the money, direct deposit. That infrastructure lets them transfer funds usually within one business day after approval. It just cuts out all the waiting you might get with, paper checks or those multi-day verification things older systems have.
Right, right. No waiting for the mail or bank clearing times. So it's not just fast in a general sense. It's like a fundamentally different process for approval and funding.
Precisely.
And what about that bit, working with your credit score?
Yeah.
For someone whose credit isn't, perfect, how do these platforms differ?
That's a really important point. Unlike traditional lenders who might lean almost entirely on, say, a FICO score,
Right.
many of these online platforms have built their own ways of figuring out risk, their own underwriting models. These models, they're often designed to look at risk differently, maybe focusing more on your current ability to actually repay the loan.
So more about the now than just the past.
Kind of, yeah. Rather than solely on past credit mistakes, maybe. It broadens access quite a bit. For people who might get turned down by a regular bank, but are perfectly capable of handling a short-term loan, it's about seeing maybe a fuller financial picture, not just that one score snapshot.
Okay, so this is where it gets really practical for you listening.
Right.
Emily's experience, it points to a different path for these sudden money challenges. The sources we looked at emphasize that solutions like that 15M finance site are built for speed. Rapid response. They mention offering up to $5,000, even if your credit isn't spotless.
Mm-hmm.
What is that maximum amount, that $5,000 ceiling? Tell us about the kinds of emergencies these services are really meant for.
Well, that range up to $5,000, it suggests they're mostly aimed at bridging, relatively smaller short-term gaps in cash flow. They're not really for huge long-term things like buying a house or major investments.
Got it. More for immediate fires.
Exactly. Perfect for things like Emily's medical bill or sudden car repairs, urgent home stuff that just pops up. It's a lifeline for those really crucial, time-sensitive needs. The kind of things that, if you don't deal with them, could actually snowball into much bigger money problems down the road.
Right.
So it's about providing a targeted, quick fix for those immediate, pressing costs.
Okay, so let's boil this down. What does this all mean for you, the listener? It means that these online platforms, like the one Emily used, they offer a really rapid, pretty straightforward way to get funds when something unexpected crops up.
Yeah.
We're talking streamlined, all digital applications, often getting you the money within, say, 24 hours.
That's the key promise.
They seem to aim for transparency.
Emily mentioned no hidden fees. And they've widened the net a bit, working with different credit situations. And being able to potentially get up to $5,000 means they can cover quite a range of common emergencies.
Right.
Emily herself, her words were it was a game changer. It let her take control and just solve it fast. And I think that's the big takeaway here. Just understanding that these modern options are out there can, well, genuinely take some of the stress off your shoulders when those unexpected bills hit.
Yeah, just knowing it exists is something.
It gives you a concrete alternative, something other than racking up late fees or, falling into deeper financial trouble. For a lot of people, it's about having another practical tool in their financial toolkit, ready for when the unexpected inevitably happens. It empowers you to react quickly, effectively.
Okay, so final thought here. We live in a world where unexpected costs are, let's be honest, they're basically a certainty, aren't they?
Unfortunately, yeah, seems that way.
So what does the rise of these really fast, accessible online financial solutions actually mean for how we think about our own finances, about short-term cash flow, maybe even about the traditional role banks play?
That's a big question.
Yeah, and maybe how does knowing these options exist change how we plan financially, or even just how we react when that emergency finally hits? Something to think about.